Hello Zithara, I am Dinesh. I got the opportunity to do the assessment regarding the placement processes in the Zithara technologies. So the task was given is the first task is to create the 50 records in the database using the column fields such as serial number, customer name, age, phone, location, and created at. The second task is to create the single page application to display the data in the table format with the pagination and having a 20 number of records in per page. The third task is to create a column having both the date and time in created at column. The fourth task is to search the functionalities using the column name and the location. And the final fifth task is to sort the data either by the date or by the time. To do this project, I have created two folders, that is namely backend and frontend. The front-end folder that contains the front-end part of the assessment, and the back-end folder contains the back-end properties of the assessment. To do this assessment, I have used both the React and the Node.js and along with the PostgreSQL database. Coming to the front-end part, we have got the customer table .jsx file, which contains the customer name, age, phone, location, date and time, which is the first task that is done in this part. This is the map function that is used to retrieve the customer's data from the database that is called customers table created in the PostgreSQL database. We have imported the React from the React table, and we also imported the CSS about this table. And getting into the search bar.jsx file, we created the search bar that we have written an function that is callback function that is arrow function which is a set query that is targeted into the query with the help of the use state. Here the use state is a built-in React hook that allows the functional component to manage the states, that it returns the stateful value of the arrow functions. And after the arrow function, we have written the handle change event. It is set to a set query event dot targeted value. This indicates that the current changing value is displayed, current ongoing change is displayed. Whereas I have written the form on submit. On submitting, this is taken as input text format, and a button is taken that is in the submit format. This on change function having the handle change that is written here. It takes the current changing values. Next, I have written the pagination .jsx. This pagination that modifies the previous and the next pages to be changed with about of 20 records in each pages that is set up here on clicking the next and previous buttons. This is the app.js. It is a main file that contains the structure of the assessment. Here we have imported all the customer table and the search bar and the pagination forms regarding their own paths. After that, I have written arrow function which is written to use states. This arrow functions to be explained. Rather than that, when we goes down, here is the return function. On the display of the output, first of all we have displayed the customers list, which is of h1 tag, and later we have a search bar that is for searching the table names and with the locations. Next, coming to this, we have kept a sort by span in the span that is on click we will be sorted the data with regarding date and time. uh, this front end page is connected with the back end. Let us go to the backend form. In the backend file we have server.js where we have imported the necessary modules like express, body parser, chords, and also the customer routes. Whereas this app, it creates an express applications instance of named apps, and we install the modules such as chords. It is a middleware that shares and allows a request from the different origins, and also the express.json. It is a middleware that passes the incoming javascript object notation payloads. And also we see that app.use, the app.use it is a middleware that mounts the customer routes on the customers table. It means that the request that starts from the customers will be routed into the customer routes. Next, this is the app.get, whereas it defines the route for handling the get requests. App.get is defines the route for handling the get requests to the route URLs. This route handles the asynchronous functions. Whereas coming to this try block, the try block, it responds with the status of 200 and sends it to the result as a JSON format. And the try is not function, then it goes to the catch function. The catch block that it logs to the error of 500, that is a status response for the JSON object containing an error message. And finally here it starts the server listening on the specified port. When the server starts successfully, it logs the message to console indicating a port it is listening on to. Here we get a port number of 5000, and the front end port is it is 3000. Whereas this is our next backend file, that is customer routes.js. This describes that we have written the pagination arrow functions. It describes that this route handles the get requests to the route URLs, and it expects the query parameters as a page, and indicating the page number for the pagination. By default it is 1, and it calculates the limit number of records per page, whereas it calculates the page number of records it has. And it executes a query of fetch customer data from the database with limit and offset, and it also calculates the total number of customers in the data for the pagination purposes, and the response includes fetched customer data and the total number of pages it has. And next, it is the search for the customers by the name or the location. This route handles a get request from the search, and it expects a query of parameter, that is a query, whereas it executes a query that to search for the customers whose name or the location matches the search term. It is a query, and the response includes the matching of the customers data. Next, I have written the sort for customers by the date or time. This route handles the get request to the sort, and it expects a query part that is sort by, indicating the field by which the sort, that is a date or time, and here the default thing is kept as a date, and it executes the query to fetch the customer's data, and data from the database sorted by the specified fields, and the response includes the sorted thing. That's it in the customers routes.js. And here is our database.js file, whereas we import the PostgreSQL for Node.js. and importing this Postgre library. Import pool class from the PG library, and creating the connection using the of the Postgre, that is user, host, the database, password, and the port number. This connects the database that is written in the Postgre database with the name of customers. It is retrieved into the front end. And coming back to the app.js, we have the customers array function, that is an array state variable to store the list of customers fetched from the server. And we have the current page, that a state variable to keep track on the current page number for the pagination. And we have the total pages, that is a state variable to store the total number of pages of the customers, and that is data available on the database. And next, the sort by, that is a state variable to determine how the customer data should be sorted with the date or time. Here a loading function is written that the state variable indicates whether the data is being loaded from the server or not. Here is a fetch customers function, that is an asynchronous function. It is defined to fetch the customer's data from the server, whereas the set loading is kept true where the data is loaded from the server or not. When the data from the server is loaded into the front end, the set load is executed and the response is taken from the current page that was written in the backend. It sets the get request to the server's endpoints, that is from the customers, with a query of a page and a sort by. And next, upcoming the successful responses, that it updates the customer state with the fetched data and sets the total pages. Next, it loading to false. In case of an error, it logs into the error, and it gives false. It is loading to the false. And here we have the use effect state, that is a hook is used to fetch the customer data from the server when the component mounts to the empty, or when the current page or sort by state is changes. And it ensures that the fetch customers function is called whenever the dependencies such as current page and the sort by are changed. And here is the event handler, that is a handle search function. It is an asynchronous function that handles the search functionality. It sends the get request and from the search customers endpoints with the search query and updates the customer state accordingly. And here we have the handle pagination. Is a function handle pagination. It updates the current page. And the state based on the direction passed, that is previous or that is next, previous plus one. And here is a handle sort by, a function that handles the sorting functionality. It updates the sort by state based on the option, that is date or time. And this is a return function. It is a rendering function that returns the JSX to render the user interface, whereas it includes the header, a search for a search bar, and the condition renders either a loading message or the customer table, and the pagination components based on the loading state. And the overall this component provides the user. So here it provides the overall this component provides a user interface for searching, sorting, and also for the pagination through a list of customers fetched from the server. And this encapsulates the logic of handling user interactions and the data fetching in a single component. So let us see the output for this by running the both the front end and the back end. We have got a command to run the React, that is npm space start, and To execute, press enter, and it is executing. And the output opens in the Chrome browser. This is the output of the front end. Let me refresh. This is the front end, and we have to run the back end to attach the list of customers. So we have got a command to run the node, that is backend, that is node space server dot js, which is the main file of the backend. Press enter. Here we see the server is running on the port of 5000, and let us see the output on the Chrome. Let me refresh this page to see the yes, we got the attachment of the backend from the customers table. That is, here we see the next, that is each page having a record of about 20. Previous, we go previous, and let us check the search bar. That is, let me type John, and click on the search button. Yes, it is searching and it is activated. And also I have created both the buttons, that is by date and by time, and that's it. Thank you. And at last, this is a query that is written in the PostgreSQL to retrieve the dummy data about of 50 records that was imported and fetched to the front end using PostgreSQL ports. Thank you.